Hello everyone, my name is Celeste. Welcome and thank you for being here. Today's class is going to be focused on the core. Now, before we begin, as usual, I would like to explain why we're doing what we're doing. So if you don't fancy today listening to me chatting about the core, then please feel free to skip me all the way up to this minute and go ahead and start with the class. So as you can see on this pretty picture, the core is made up of more than one muscle group, and it turns out that the muscles are distributed around the torso. So not just at the front, but more 360. Now, if we take a look a little bit deeper into the core, one of the muscles that is part of your wonderful core is the diaphragm. Now, it's important to understand that the diaphragm is part of the core because this big umbrella-shaped muscle is very, very important in our respiratory system. Now, you might be wondering why or how is the diaphragm important when we breathe? And it turns out that when we inhale, the diaphragm goes down, it contracts in order to allow more space for the lungs to be full. And when we exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and it goes up and it pushes the air out of our lungs. So say we keep the core engaged, right? We know this, navel to spine, suck the tummy in, and we spend the majority of our days with our core unnecessarily engaged. Then our organs will suffer a little bit, they're gonna be restrained, and our diaphragm will also not have the same ability to move fluidly, and therefore keeping the core engaged will also affect our respiratory system. So when we think about having a strong core, we must also think about having a fluid core, a core that allows for expansion and allows for natural contraction. Remember this little detail. When we inhale, the diaphragm contracts and goes down. When we exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and goes up. This little detail might be handy for an exercise that we are going to do later on. So without further talking, let's get to it. So as usual, remember that if you have props that you include in your practice, just bring them to you. If you have blocks or a bolster, cushions, anything that you might need, this is the moment to pause me and go get it. And today we're going to start in a laying down position. So I would like you to rest on your back. And I want you to make this as comfortable as you can for the first few moments until we ground. Stretch your legs out long. Relax the neck. Let your arms rest beside you. And we use these first few moments to arrive and to ground. Feel the body resting on the floor. Feel the connection of all the back of your body against the mat. If you would like to, you can close your eyes. If you don't feel like it, you can just soften your gaze or keep your eyes open. And let's take our attention to our breath. For now, we just observe. We don't judge or modify. Just allow the breath to be. And let's bring into our attention this idea of the core being all around our belly, including our diaphragm, our pelvic floor. And let's start to deepen the breath. Remember that when we inhale, we relax all the tummy, so we allow the diaphragm to contract and the air to flow in. And we exhale, and there's a natural contraction that will happen to allow the air out, and the diaphragm relaxes. And I want us to think about the breath as a cycle. that connects the inhalation and the exhalation through a little pause at the top and at the bottom of the breath. Perceive and travel through your breath with your focus, with your awareness. Our breath is life, life for our organs, life for our brain. It helps us calm down. It helps us to release, to connect, and to ground. And we bring back our sensation and our awareness to our entire body. So gently, little by little, opening the eyes if they were closed, allowing the light to come in. And the first exercise we're going to do is a diaphragm stretch. So as I said before, the stretch happens on the exhalation. So basically we're going to exhale as much as we can. We are going to keep a tuck in tailbone, because the diaphragm is connected to the low back muscles. So we're going to tuck the tailbone slightly. We're going to take the arms up overhead and rest them on the floor. And the idea is that we're going to inhale as much as we can, allowing all the air to come in. And we're going to exhale as if we were trying to mist a mirror in front of us. So it will be something like this, opening the mouth. Now, we're going to exhale, not as much as we can, but we're going to exhale fully. So when we think that there's no more air, we're going to keep on exhaling, 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 and you might either hear like a little whistle sound through the exhale, and you might even at the end cough a bit. And once this happens, we can inhale back in. All this time, keeping the tailbone tucked and the arms out and behind us. So I'm going to show you, and then we're going to do it together. So we inhale, the pelvis is tucked, and then we exhale. And we inhale now. If you were looking at that, it might have looked very weird if you've never done it before. But trust me, it's super good to, to wiggle the diaphragm if it's usually too contract and we keep it up too much. Then it's really nice to stretch the diaphragm. Yes, it will look weird. Yes, it sounds weird. And yes, it might feel weird. Just before doing it, if at some point it doesn't feel good, you think, no, this makes me feel a bit dizzy, or perhaps you feel like a cramp on your stomach, then just don't do it anymore. We stop there, but we are gonna try. We're gonna give it a try because it's worth it. So let's take the arms up overhead behind us and rest them on the mat, on the floor. We tuck the tailbone slightly, so we ground through the low back, and we're gonna inhale through the nose. Big inhale as much as we can, and exhale. Remember to make the sound miss the mirror. And inhale and sigh it out. We are gonna do one more. I'm gonna show you a slightly like a level up option. If you wanna do it, if you don't want to do it at all, nothing anymore, just keep on breathing mindfully, then please feel free to. But if you want to up the game, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend the knees up, so stand your feet. And we're gonna tuck, keep the arms out behind. We're gonna tuck the tailbone and lift off the hips slightly off the mat. And when we exhale, we're gonna exhale, exhale, exhale. And as we exhale, we are gonna lower the hips down, but keeping the tuck of the pelvis all the way down until we can't anymore. If you want to do that with me, if not, you do the previous one. If not, just place your hands on your tummy and take this time to inhale, expanding, and exhale. Remember the 360 expansion. Let's go. Any option you have chosen to go. So we inhale and lift the hips up slightly. And exhale and lower and miss the mirror. Keep the tailbone tuck. Inhale and exhale, side it out. Amazing. Let's bring the breath back to a natural rhythm. From there, we're gonna take both our legs up. The sole of the feet is facing the ceiling. If this is too much, you can either grab your legs from behind, or if you have a strap, you can wrap the strap around the back of your legs and allow the legs to go down, whatever it feels comfortable. If not, you can bend the knees as well. So let's take the attention to the core. What's the feeling? What's the feeling in our tummy? And let's be mindful of this breath. Feel the back, feel your back muscles. How are they expressing sensation, if there is any sensation? Feel if there's any wobble, if there are any like little shakes going on around. And now we take the arms up as well, and we're gonna circle the wrists and the feet, the ankles. Big expressive circles. Use your fingers, use the toes. Really expressive. And to the other way. Very, very expressive. Ooh, maybe there are some cracks going on, some crunchy joints. One more time. Now we're gonna try to do figure of 8 with our ankles and our hands. Imagine you were drawing 8s or infinites, and to the other way. Nice. And then bend the knees, relax, drop your feet, relax slightly. Maybe you can do a rock and roll, hugging your knees. Awesome. And now we're gonna lift the legs up, bend the knees, and keep the hips super grounded, the low back grounded as well. But we're gonna take the knees away from us slightly. So we're gonna feel the more we take the knees out, the more engagement we're gonna feel on the core. Remember to please keep the natural inhale, relaxation, exhale, natural contraction. But of course, you're gonna start feeling the core activated more. And feel and just hold. You might think like, oh, just hold in, but wait a little bit and you will see, perhaps you are already super feeling it. And if it's too much, you can bring the knees closer to you and you will release the tension. Come on, you've got this. A little bit more, but really be mindful of the breath. See, how can I keep the core engaged but the breath fluid? You can place your hands on your belly. And we bring knee to chest and rock and roll side to side. You did great. Ooh, that's very intense. Even so, that comes to show that we don't really need to be moving and doing abs, you know, like to actually engage the core and to keep a strong core. Let's do some circles with our hips. So place your hands on your knees and circle your hips to the outside and then to the inside. Place your hands at the back of your legs Open your legs like a baby. And we're gonna do a rock and roll. Ooh, really round the spine. And whenever you feel enough momentum to stand up, try not to use your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Try to touch the ceiling with the fingertips. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge of the hips and fold your torso forward over your legs. Drop your head, relax the neck. Inhale, hands on knees, lift the torso halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale and we fold. Place both your hands on the mat and step your feet back to a plank. Oh yes, we are in a plank. Engage the glutes, strong through the arms, pushing the floor away through your hands. Your shoulder blades are not collapsed, are away from each other. Slight double chin. Try to keep a expansive and 360 breath. From here, we're gonna take the weight towards the left and lift the right leg up. Point your toes. Bend the knee, the right knee. Open the knee to the right side. Make a circle and bring the knee to the chest. And then drop your knee to the mat and lift it up to the chest. Drop it down, don't touch the mat. And lift it up. Drop it down one more. And lift it up. And then drop it down. And this time you can rest over this leg. Now we're gonna slide the left leg back. More or less, we are gonna feel that I touched the mic. We're gonna feel that we touch the thigh, the right thigh with our belly. If this is not the case and you are higher up, perfect. Whatever you can go, it's absolutely fine. From here, we're gonna do a little balance challenge. So the idea is that we're gonna take the weight forward slightly, lift off the left leg, really strong through this leg, feel the glute engage, and we're gonna try to release the hands off the floor, try to balance on the right leg. If you gaze to a point on the floor and you fix your eyes there, perhaps it can help. And play around, keep the back leg engaged, and then we release. Place your forearms on the mat. Inhale strong through the arms and lift your right knee to the chest. Inhale here, exhale, step the right leg back to a low plank. Remember to keep the breath fluid. We wait here a little bit and we feel the breath expansive. And so we're gonna drop the right hip to the right, come back to center, drop the left, up to center, to the right. The feet are gonna wiggle to the left, up to center, to the right. One more to the left, and then to the right. And when we go to the right, we drop the hip all the way down to the mat. Place the left arm in front of you. Stack your left leg over your right. And with your right arm, push your torso up. Perhaps it has to be a little bit more away from you. Or you can even just use the elbow and lift the torso. So you are resting on the edge of your right side body. Great. If not, remember to stretch it up, should you wish to. And then slide your right arm all the way to rest fully on the mat on your right side. And then we are gonna, this is uncomfortable for my mic, I'm so sorry. And then we are gonna roll over to rest on our backs. If you want, you can wiggle your way to the mat. If not, you can just stay wherever you landed. Now, from here, tuck your chin, roll the spine up, roll it up, And then place your elbows behind you, more or less under your shoulders. And from here, we're gonna do figure eights with our legs. So we're gonna keep both legs engaged, pointing the toes. If you know, like me, you have some hypermobile knees, then perhaps you wanna micro bend slightly your knees so we're not collapsing. So let's start with the right up. And imagine you had to draw an 8 in front of you. Like literally imagine the 8. It's a great idea and it helps a lot to imagine your big toe was a pencil and you needed to draw an 8 on the wall in front of you, and then we change the side. 8. This time we're gonna do one leg at the time, but then on the next round we're gonna do both at the same time, and that's gonna be challenging. Perhaps this is challenging already. Relax, and then we change to the left. Draw the 8. Cool. You are doing so good. And then to the other side. And notice if there's one side that likes it better to do this. Perhaps, for example, my left side is coordinating way less than my right side. And then we relax. Rest your back fully on the mat. Take your arms back long behind you. And then we are gonna make a little boat. So we're gonna rest on our low back and we're gonna lift the feet off the floor and the legs and the hands and the head. And we're gonna turn side to side. Rock and roll this little boat. Wait, I'm gonna place my mic. I don't know where anymore. This exercise is difficult with the mic. Rock it side to side, rock it like a little boat, and once you find momentum, you roll all the way to your belly. Remember to be playful, don't worry, you land where you land. Wiggle your weight to the mat. Yes, I'm having technical issues with my mic, but you haven't got it, so go for it. Once you landed here, place your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale for a cobra, lift the chest, lift the torso slightly. Exhale and we drop it to the floor. Inhale, engage the glutes and lift the chest and lift the head. Exhale, drop it down. Tuck under your back toes. Inhale and a little challenge. We push up to plank. And then we roll the spine all the way back to a downward facing dog. First down dog. I know down dog is not a resting pose, but I guess that after all the really challenging poses that we have just been doing, maybe this feels now like a little bit of a rest. Maybe not, don't worry. We all feel different things. Push the floor away, bend the knees, keep soft hips, and I invite you to wiggle your down dog. If there's any movements that you would like to do, perhaps open to the sides. And inhale and exhale. All right. Come to find stillness. Inhale, lift both your heels off the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, take a look towards the front of the mat and step or fly or float your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen the torso, halfway lift. Exhale and we fold over both legs. Inhale and we roll the spine, vertebra per vertebra, all the way up to standing. Head and neck come last. And we are back in our Tadasana. Let's just take 2 releasing breaths. Place one hand on the belly, one hand on your chest. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out. One more time, inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Okay, maybe you want to do a little jump, a little relax. We're going to do the other side now. Okay, once you did your little victory dance, we come to standing in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep both your arms all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees and drop your torso down. Release the head. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees and place your hands on the mat and step your feet back to a plank. And now we're gonna rock the plank forward and back, forward to your tiptoes and back, forwards and back. Feel the weight on the wrists. Feel your calf muscles, perhaps stretching a bit when we go backwards. Now we find stillness in our plank. Strong through the arms and lift the left leg up, point your toes, bend the knee and open the knee to the left. We do half a circle and we bring the left knee to chest. Drop it down to hover off the mat. Drop it up. Drop it down to hover a little bit and drop it up. One more time down and up. And this time, woo, we can rest the left leg on the mat. Now we slide the back leg down. Remember, the idea now is that we are not resting fully on the leg and just like trying to lift the right leg. We are gonna be, our tummy is gonna be away from our leg, but more or less resting on it. Take the weight forward. We first lift off the right leg, engage the glutes, point the toes, strong through the core. Try to fix a point somewhere on the floor and keep your eyes fixed there. And let's start trying to take the arms off the floor and wiggle your weight and see how it is comfortable to you. Maybe you think that if you go a little bit backwards, it's more stable. Remember to keep the right leg active. Strong through the glutes. You can play with moving the arms around. Really strong through that back leg. And then we place the forearms on the floor. Place the right leg on the mat. Inhale, exhale, and then strong through the shoulders and lift off the left knee against the chest and we lift the leg off the mat. And then we step it back to a low plank. So from here, instead of dropping hips to the sides, we're gonna create circles with the hips. So we drop it to the side, then down, up through the other side and up, to the side, down, side and up. You've got this, and then towards the left, or the side that opposite to the one you did before, and then we drop left hip to the floor. Use your right hand to support you. Stack both your legs over each other. Point your toes, and remember you can either keep it here, so elbow and forearm on the floor, or you can use this left arm to push you up. Feel the left side body stretching. Take a breath. And now from here, we slide the left arm all the way down to the floor. And we roll to our backs. Awesome. Now, this one is gonna be more challenging than the previous one. So if you would like to just stay with one at a time, figure eights, then go for it. If you are up for the challenge, then elbows more or less under the shoulders. We are gonna lift the legs off the floor and we are gonna try to do the figure of eights opposite to each other. So one leg is gonna go up to the diagonal and the other one is gonna go down. And then we create the eights. Remember to keep breathing and then change. And at first, this is gonna be confusing because it also requires coordination. Once you start doing it more often and more often and more often, you will see that it will come up easier. And we can play with changing the direction of the figure eights faster. So let's go. And then we change. If you are on the one leg figure eight, woo, Own it. And then we collapse. Well done. Permission to just like rest, relax, everything. You are doing absolutely amazing. Now rest, straighten your legs, straighten them and rest them on the mat. Take your arms behind you. We come into this boat and we rock the boat side to side. Rock it to the out edge. Rock it until you rock it to the front. You rest your tummy on the mat. Maybe you want to wiggle the weight all the way to the mat. Place both your palms one over the other and you can rest your forehead at the back of your hands like a little pillow. Wiggle your hips side to side. You did great. Now it's time to cool down. That was very intense. So inhale. You can take the legs, separate them slightly, and then place your fingertips a little bit wider than your shoulders. Rest your head on the mat. Inhale, and we undulate the body. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. These undulations can be super small here, or they can be super big and expressive. Just go where you feel like. And then we inhale, place the elbows under the shoulders and lift your head up. Engage the glutes. And I want you to press down through the elbows. The shoulders are gonna go away from the ears. And I want you to imagine that you had a magnet on the center of your chest and the wall in front of you was a metal. And your chest is drawn to the metal, drawn, so it opens up through the front body. Press through the elbows down, engage the glutes. And breathe, bring back to mind the awareness of the breath and these 360 core muscles. How this big umbrella muscle, your diaphragm, helps so much in our breathing cycles. Exhale and drop it down, tuck under your toes and push yourself back for a child's pose. You can choose either wide leg or narrow leg with your arms back or your arms forward. Just choose the one that is more comfortable for you to relax. Inhale and then we exhale and we drop it down, go into the pose. Just again, feel how your breath changes depending on the position that you're at. Where can you feel the expansion more prominent? Just relax. All the tension melts away. And perceive the energy running through you. Where can I feel this energy? Inhale and exhale and walk your hands towards the left and drop it down. Perceive the breath growing big on your right side lung and feel the sensation on the left side that is more crunched. Inhale and then we exhale and walk the hands all the way to the right and drop the head. Remember to keep this breath soft, big inhales and big exhales. Walk your hands to center and then walk your hands all the way up to seated. And we choose a comfortable seated position. Perhaps we stay kneeling, or you want to cross legs. Stay right where you are and close your eyes. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Imagine you needed to touch your head against the ceiling. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale and twist towards the left, but without using your hands. Just use your muscles to twist. Head looks back. Inhale up to center and then exhale, twist to the left. Don't use your hands. Inhale back to center. Place both your hands on your chest, one over the other one. Perhaps you want to place one hand on the chest and one on the belly. So being thankful for taking this time to arrive, to connect, to show up. Appreciating all the efforts that our body went through to accomplish every step of this flow, however that might have looked, however that might have felt. Appreciate your breath for keeping you alive. And we're going to finish this class with a big releasing breath all together, inhaling through the nose and sighing it out. Palms together. Amazing. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for being in the class, for taking this time to go through these exercises. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you think that anyone can benefit from this class, please feel free to share the love. If you haven't yet, you can subscribe to my channels. I upload weekly free videos, and you can hit the notification bell so you are the first one to find out when I upload any new videos. And I will see you on the mat very soon. Bye bye.